Okay, so what you're looking at now is the Litecoin chart, and there was a big green candle and then a big red candle, and that is because there are news reports, unconfirmed news reports, that Litecoin and Walmart have done a partnership. Just when you thought there would be a quiet day, a boring day in crypto, we saw this partnership announced. So let's take a look at what's going on. We're going to take a look at the Litecoin Walmart deal. Is it real? Is it not real? If it is real, we'll look at the logic behind the deal. We'll also look at the market structure, because I know you guys all woke up this morning. I know what happened this morning. You woke up this morning and you thought, is the market going to pull back? Is there something broken about the market? Is the market actually going to pull back? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about today. Is this market actually going to pull back? Should we be taking leverage long positions? That is what we're going to be talking about. It's going to be a massive, massive, massive show. We are the first station to bring you this Litecoin deal. Breaking news, or maybe it's not a deal. That's what we're going to be talking about. So let's get this show on the road. Big show ahead of us. Let's do it. All right. Welcome back, guys. You're watching CryptoBanter.com. I'm Crypto Man Ran. I'm here twice, 3 times, 4 times a day, bringing you crypto love, crypto wisdom, crypto breaking news. Together, we are building the richest crypto family in the world. So if you're new to our channel, smash the like button, subscribe to our channel. Let's not waste any more time on the formalities, because there's lots going on in crypto land. And just when you thought that crypto was boring, because I woke up this morning, I looked and I kind of looked at my CoinGecko, saw Bitcoin at 44,000 and said, I'm going to go back to sleep. And then I couldn't go back to sleep, obviously, so I went out. But then this happens. So let's look at where we're at. We can't confirm or deny any of this news, unfortunately, because it's happening right now. The big green candle shows you the minute when this Walter Bloomberg tweet came out that says Walmart announces partnership with Litecoin. Now, Walter Bloomberg is quite a reliable news source, very reliable news source, usually. That was then followed up by another tweet, and this was by Breaking Markets News, which said, Walmart pay with Litecoin option is to start 1 October. E-commerce stores will pay with Litecoin. So if you do a Google search right now, you can see that it has been on Reuters, it has been on CNBC, it has been on Forex Live, it has been on The Star, it has been on many other job listings, news sites. What you can see is that there was news that broke that Litecoin was going to be accepted by Walmart at all of their e-commerce stores. And there was even a bit of a press release that was published, I guess, and it says Walmart announces major partnership with Litecoin, and it comes from Global Newswire, and it says Walmart Incorporated, the #1 retailer in the United States, is pleased to announce a major partnership with Litecoin. The e-commerce giant intends to give its millions of shoppers across the world an opportunity to seamlessly make payment with cryptocurrencies. So interesting. And then they say, by integrating Litecoin, we will enable shoppers to experience a very smooth checkout experience with near instant transaction confirmation and near zero fees. Apparently, this was also tweeted on the Litecoin or Litecoin Foundation website, #1, and it was also then published in major publications like Reuters. You do have Frank Chaparro or Tim Copeland who said the Litecoin deleted, and the Litecoin deleted the Litecoin Walmart tweet, more signs that the news is fake. So this actually could be fake news. The price is telling you that this may be fake news. So even though Litecoin hasn't come up down to where it was before the news, the market is telling you that it's not sure that this news is confirmed. So even though we've got breaking market news, we've got Walter Bloomberg, we've got Forex Live, we've got Global Newswire talking about this, there's no confirmation whether this news is real or not real. I mean, you do have CNBC and you do have Reuters talking about it, but ultimately, we don't know if this news is real. Let's look at the options, because I think that's what we need to discuss here. Let's look at the various options. First of all, why did Litecoin tweet it? Has someone hacked their account? Litecoin would know what Litecoin is doing. So maybe they weren't supposed to announce it today. Why did Litecoin actually tweet it, and why did they delete the tweet? Frank Chaparro. Let's see what Frank Chaparro said. So let's quickly look at his account now. Guys, this is absolutely breaking news. This is happening right now. This is not something that we had time to prepare for, even knew was coming. So you've got Frank Chaparro saying, yikes, looking at this article, not sure what he means by yikes. You then have, come on guys, you've got CNBC, Walmart to accept crypto payments with cryptocurrencies using Litecoin. That is from CNBC. Let's see if this article is still up. The article is still up from CNBC. Cryptocurrency Litecoin gave up 20% gain and tumbled back following a suspicious press release sent out by Global Newswire that referenced a partnership with Walmart. A number of media organizations, including CNBC, sent headlines on that announcement. The announcement references a non-working website in an email. The release said that Walmart is the biggest retailer in the US that would accept cryptocurrencies for payments from shoppers using Litecoin. It was not immediately clear if the news release was actually authentic. A Walmart spokesperson wasn't immediately available. So it looks like this might be fake news. It looks like this whole announcement may have been fake news. So glad that we caught it. Looks like it was fake news. Keep your eye on the ball here, because we could get much more news in this regard, but right now it does look like it was fake news. Be that as it may, what we saw is that as soon as it happened, the market exploded. So Litecoin went up by 20%. Bitcoin went up. Now, this is the interesting part. Bitcoin went up and then is now coming down. And I guess the reason why Bitcoin is going up and down is because people are now seeing how easy it is to manipulate the crypto market. And that's a negative for the crypto market. So the reason why Bitcoin has taken such a dip is because people realized just how easy it is to manipulate this crypto market. And if you want to manipulate the crypto market, you publish a fake press release through Global Newswire. CNBC picked it up, Reuters picked it up. They all published off this one fake press release. And that sent the market up. And again, the reason why the market is overreacting downwards now is because people are saying, if it is so easy to manipulate the crypto market, then, this market is bad. And I think the whales here, I think this must have been a coordinated scheme. This must have been a coordinated scheme to try and either exit Litecoin, or to try and pump the market, or to try and prove that you can pump the market. And ultimately, there were a few minutes where a lot of people could have made a lot of money. And now the market has picked up on this, and the market has overreacted down. So net, not a very, very good, not a very, very, very good indicator for crypto in the short term. These kind of articles do massive, massive, massive damage to the ecosystem. I guess now it seems there are more tweets coming in and more reports coming in. It does seem like now, let me just have a look here. Yeah, it does look like now it's confirmed that this is fake news. Yeah, confirmed that this is fake news at this point. So it is fake news, and that's why Bitcoin is responding like it is responding. Let's quickly look at the Bitcoin chart. Let's just stay up to date with what's going on. Bitcoin now at 43,550. It's dumping. Should we be worried? Has anything fundamentally changed in the market? That's what we're going to be talking about today. I don't think that we should be panicking about this. In fact, this may actually bring an amazing buy opportunity for those of us who were looking for buy opportunities, because we look for market panic opportunities. Now, to me, this is a market overreaction opportunity. Why is the market reacting negatively so quickly? We were at 44,500 just an hour ago. The market shot up and shot down. And the reason why the market went down, as I said to you guys, was because people are saying crypto is a manipulated market. And if crypto is a manipulated market, then what that means is that we won't get ETFs. Institutions will lose faith. People will start talking about this as a easily manipulated market. Remember, we once had a guest. Who was that guest on our show? The one that told us he was an ex-journalist. What's his name? Two commas. Yeah, he came on our show and he said, look, if you want to manipulate the crypto market, what you do to manipulate the crypto market is you publish a fake press release. And then everybody publishes these fake press releases. And this is exactly what happened. So that is why the market's reacting. The market's overreacting. In fact, to be honest, I think this is a great buying opportunity. I haven't seen the alts. Let's quickly look at the alts and see what is going on here with the alts. Let's quickly just look at what is happening with the alts. Yeah, the Walmart, Sultan, we know the Walmart news is now confirmed fake. Okay, so the alts are getting a little bit killed. You can see that Ethereum's down to 3149. Let me zoom in for you guys over here. So net, this was it was bad. Let's quickly look at the Bitcoin dominance and see if how people are reacting to this news. Are people actually panicking around this news? Let's quickly look at the Bitcoin dominance. Are people running away from altcoins? No, the Bitcoin dominance hasn't moved. 41.37. Really nothing to worry about here. So it looks like people aren't panicking. So this might actually be the buying opportunity that we actually wanted. So why do I think that today is a buying opportunity, or maybe even the rest of the month of September is a buying opportunity? Well, this is what I want to talk to you guys about today, because I think it's important that we understand why this is a buying opportunity. And this is not time to be panic selling. And I know you woke up this morning and you looked at your portfolios and you said, should I be selling? Should I be selling? Should I be selling? I have made a lot of gains. I know, because I know you've all made a lot of gains. And I know you looked at your portfolios and said, should I take the money now that I've made and exit? You woke up and you had those jitters, right? Where you said, man, I don't want to lose the money that I've made. If this token goes down by like 1 more percent, 2 more percent, I'm out of here. Should I sell? Should I just keep those gains in my pocket? And there's actually a fundamental reason why that's happening. And that is because the market goes into cycles. And the cycles are driven by greed and driven by fear. You buy on the way up because you're greedy, and you sell on the way down, or you're supposed to sell on the way down because you're fearful. And that is how the market cycle actually works. Where are we today in the market cycle? That's the important thing. In the market cycle, if we look at where we are in the short term, and I want to show this to you guys. So I'm going to zoom out for you guys a little bit into the one-day chart. And I'm going to go into a couple of, I'm going to go back just a few days, maybe a month or so. And what you can see over here is that if you look at the 21st of July, you've got yourself going up, down, up, down, up, down. But generally, if you look from the 21st of July to where we are today, the market has gone up from 30,000. We're still up 50% from where we were a month and a half ago. And so a breather like this is actually really par for the course. This is really something that we should absolutely be expecting. You can't have a market that just goes up forever, because if the market does go up forever, then the market structure would be broken. People would be FOMOing into the market. The leverage would be in the market. We are at a very healthy point now where we are a month and a half after the low, and we are 50% above the low, and we're not at the all-time high. At the same time, the on-chain indicators, because that's where you look for the fundamentals. And the fundamentals are looking healthier than ever. So don't get caught up in this emotion. Don't get caught up in the retail investor emotion that is now saying to you, maybe I should dump the market. Maybe I should take the sales that I've got. Listen to it, because if you are holding shit, then the big signal to you is sell your shit. and get it into long-term stuff that you can hold long-term. I'm not going to tell you whether the market is going to go up or down in the next hour, 2 days, or 3 days, but I can tell you that fundamentally the data is showing me that the market is going up. And I want to show you the same data that I've been looking at, and then you can make your own decision based on how long you want to hold your investments and how badly you need the money to decide whether you want to hold the tokens or not. So let's get into the actual data. That's what I want to get into. Let's look at the data. First thing we need to do, let's look at the on-chain data. And therefore I went to Willy Woo today. Willy Woo says, I posted this map of the Bitcoin supply distribution, but many ask, what does it mean? Well, it says quite a lot about the whole ecosystem. Since people didn't see what I thought was in plain sight, I'll break it down a bit more for you in color. So this is a tweet that he did on the 12th of September. And in this tweet, he shows a couple of things which we really, really, really have to pay attention to, because it is showing that the market is actually healthier than ever, both short-term and long-term. But you need to understand a few concepts. The people that drive the market, the sentiment that drives the market is not the whale sentiment, because the whales are small in numbers. So there are very few whales in the world. They are small in numbers. The sentiment that drives the market is actually retail. And in times where markets go up, you find that retail starts to accumulate and whales start to sell into the retail. In times where markets are going down and whales think that the numbers are cheap, then you know that it's time to buy, because the whales are accumulating so that the next time that the market goes up, they can sell to the retail hands. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because the market structure today looks more healthy than I've seen it look in months. In fact, maybe even years. And I want to show you why. So in the short term, there's this green line over here. And this green line is the whales. And you can see that in the long term, the whales are selling their coins to the retail investor, to the smaller investor, the smallest investor, which is this blue line over here at the bottom. And remember, this blue line is what drives market sentiment. The smallest retail investors are the ones that drive market sentiment. And the whales sell into the market sentiment that is created by the small hands. So what you're seeing right now is that the small hands are increasing their stake, while the whales are decreasing their stake. Now, that's a sign of a market that's increasing. But at the same time, if you look at I can't zoom in much more, but if you look at the end of this green line over here, what you can see is that there's been a little spike in the whales accumulating Bitcoin. What that means is that in the macro view, the longer term view, the whales believe that the market is going to continue to go up. But in the short term, the whales believe that the market is actually cheap. So it means the best of both worlds. It means that you can buy now and you'll be buying with the whales, because the whales believe that the market is cheap now. So they're starting to accumulate. But in the long term, the market will go up. So you're buying cheap, where in the long term, the whales believe that the market is going to go up. And the whales are generally right. So if you follow the whale trends, the whales are generally right. Look at this over here. The whales sold, the price increased. So you can kind of see that when the whales start to sell, the price usually goes up. And they're on the selling spree. Now they are buying because the price has just gone down and they're finding that it's actually cheap. So that is the first on-chain metric that you look at. This shows you guys, this next chart shows you guys retail investors. So the green dots on this chart are when retail investors start to buy. And the bigger the green dot, the bigger the buying activity by retail investors. What you can see is that tops are usually categorized by retail investors accumulating large amounts of Bitcoin. That is usually when there is a top. So what you can see over here, the price goes up, the retail starts to accumulate. Towards the top, they accumulate a hell of a lot, and then it's dump, 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 dump. It is the whales selling their coins, the whales selling their coins to the retail investor. That's what it is. And what you can see now is that the whales are starting to buy. So if you're buying now, you're buying with the whales to sell to the retail investor. And we kind of have confirmation that the retail investor is starting to buy, and that's going to drive the market sentiment up, because retail determines the market sentiment, not whales. The market sentiment is always determined by the big hands, by the small hands in the market, because there's a lot of them, not the big hands, because there's very few of them. So sentiment, remember, sentiment is how the majority feel about the market, not what the minority feel about the market. And the majority is calculated by number of people. So a lot of people are positive, a lot of retail people are positive. That dictates a positive sentiment on the market. What we're seeing now is we're seeing that we have a positive sentiment on the market in the long term, but in the short term, whales are starting to buy. And we definitely haven't seen what they call a blow-off top. And a blow-off top is when all the retail start to FOMO into the market very quickly. We haven't seen it. So right now, that's why I say right now seems to me like one of the best opportunities to buy for this reason, because the whales are starting to buy again, but at the same time, they are losing control and the ability to manipulate the market because they're letting go of their coins to the retail investors. That's the first thing. The second thing is we haven't had this retail blow-off top that I spoke to you guys about. The third thing that I want to show you guys is just the normal Bitcoin charts. And I want to take you guys back and I want to show you what I think our thesis is. Our thesis is that we are going to see another scenario like this. Here it is, like 2018. So let me quickly go to 2018 for you guys. What you can see is that you had a run up in August, all the way from July to August or September, the 4th of September, actually really uncanny. And then you had a correction from $5,000 all the way down to $3,000. That's a 40% correction. And then we had a parabolic run. Now, our thesis and the on-chain data actually shows us exactly the same thing. It shows us that up until September, beginning of September, we went incredibly up. And then we started to go down, and now we're going down. Plan B says we'll go down to close the month at 43,500. And now you have very limited time to get ready for a parabolic bull run, exactly like we saw in 2019. So 2019, we went up all the way down. You had this little period over here to adjust your portfolio and make sure that you had an optimal portfolio. And then from here, there was no more time. Because from the time that the accumulation phase finished, and I'm going to say for argument's sake that the accumulation phase finished when we got to the same top, which was 12th of October, we then had from the 12th of October until the 16th of December, which is 64 days, October, November, December, it's got 62 days, 64 days, to get all your life-changing gains. You want life-changing gains? You probably got 64 days to make them in from the time that this little consolidation here finishes. So we've got this little let me zoom in because I can see that it's very faint and not many. I see Scott in the waiting room here. So you see, let me zoom in even more so that you guys can see it even more. Okay, so let me make it even bigger for you guys. Look at this cycle that went from, let me make it, so look at the cycle. Middle of July, we were down. We were at the local bottom, which at the time was 1,822. We had a rally that took us up until the 2nd of September. We then went all the way down to mid-September. We lost 40%. And then we had 60 odd days from the time we reclaimed that top to get to the all-time high. And the all-time high in this case was 10 times from the bottom, or 8 times from the bottom. Where are we today? Let's quickly go to end of July. Let's look at the numbers here. Let's look at the numbers. So we hit our bottom 5 days after the last one. So it wasn't 15th of July, it was 20th of July. Our bottom was 28,547. We hit our top. Remember, the last top was on the 2nd or 3rd of September. Here it was on the 7th of September. Top. Now, 15 days from here, we should hit the bottom if we follow the same pattern. 15 days or so. You've got about 30 days. I think to conclude this, you have about 30 days to make sure that your portfolios are perfectly aligned for the parabolic bull run. You've got 30 days left for preparation. you have a last chance to prepare for what could, in our opinion, be the last crypto bull run, like parabolic bull run of all time. We'll talk about that tomorrow. That's a different subject for a different day. But there will probably never, ever, ever, ever in your lifetime be another parabolic bull run on any asset class ever. So we may have one last opportunity, 30 days, to accumulate what we want to accumulate for the parabolic bull run, if things play out the way that they should play out. The fundamentals look absolutely amazing. Willie Woo showed you that the market structure shows you that we are exactly there. That more shrimps are accumulating, but not enough. Daniel Joe, who is a writer for Quant, says, the pullback from 53 to 42 flushed out the leverage. Spot exchange reserves made multi-year lows. So basically, people are taking their Bitcoin off exchanges, multi-year lows. Bitcoin miners are continuing to accumulate, and strong hands continue to accumulate. And this is based on the on-chain data. So let's look at the on-chain data that shows this. Leverage is the blue line, flushed out of the market in a big wick. Gone. Cheers, see you later. Let's look at the rest of the on-chain metrics. Miners aren't selling. In fact, if you look at this, the miners over here, let me make it bigger. Miners are accumulating, and that's usually a good sign. Addresses from 10,000 to 100,000 Bitcoin. Ultimate whales, the ones that I showed you in the thing. What are they doing right now? They are accumulating. It's this line over here. They are accumulating. These are the biggest. The red line is the supply on exchanges. So the whales are buying Bitcoin, taking them off exchanges, and putting them in long-term storage. So the on-chain fundamentals look amazing. Plan B came out and said, and this was yesterday, in my opinion, the Bitcoin stock-to-flow model is undervalued when I compare it to gold, Bitcoin, and real estate. And that stock-to-flow model says we should be at a minimum of 100,000 or 130,000 at the end of this year. Then you've got Lex Moskowski. Lex Moskowski says stable coins are at an all-time high and not used for collateral for shorts. Stable coins at an all-time high means money on the sidelines waiting to buy Bitcoin. Where's that money going to go? Into stable coins or into Bitcoin? It's going to go into Bitcoin, into crypto, into altcoins, into degen coins. That's where this thing is going. Another metric which I found for you guys, which is amazing, is that, okay, this is big. Tokens, this comes from Quant, and the guy says tokens transferred just hit a 2-year all-time high again. This goes to show that during the accumulation period, intuitionally or wealthy, it probably means institutional, not intuitional, or wealthy investors are making peer-to-peer over-the-counter deals. Over-the-counter deals usually happen with the whales, where they don't buy on exchanges, but they buy off the market on transactions called over-the-counter transactions. And what you can see is that the on-chain activity is at a high. This purple line is the on-chain activity, but the exchange activity is at a low. And he says here, fund flow ratio has been in heavy decline after peaking out in April and May. 30-day average fund flow ratio hit a 7-year all-time low. What is this fund flow ratio? I did some digging for you guys, and I realized that the fund flow ratio is the total amount of Bitcoin flowing in, the total Bitcoin amount flowing into or out of exchanges, divided by the total transferred on the network. So what he's saying here is how much of the total volume of Bitcoin relative is being done on exchanges. And right now, that is at an all-time low, which means that the majority of the deals are actually being done over the counter by whales. So whales are doing the biggest deals. Whales aren't selling in the biggest deals, they're buying in the biggest deals. So that's another great on-chain metric. So when I look at the on-chain metrics, the on-chain metrics are showing me categorically that this is the best time to buy Bitcoin. And then what happened was I did a little bit of a search. And while I was looking for stuff to show you guys, I stumbled upon this tweet. In fact, let me find the tweet for you guys so that you can see it. Let me, hold on. I have to find this tweet for you guys. I have to find this tweet from Scott Melker. Hold on. He said he's actually opening a Bitcoin long position. And I thought to myself, hold on a second. He's opening a leveraged long position, which is something that he hasn't done in a while. I have to get him on the show and find out why he is so confident that he's actually taking a leveraged long. So let's get him on the show. What makes you so confident that you are actually dealing in leverage to open a Bitcoin long?
Well, it's not something that I often do, but I think anyone who follows me knows that I'm always long Bitcoin, aggressively spot. But leverage trading is not something that I've touched in quite a long time. But there's just a lot of signals for me. You discuss a lot of them on chain, but certainly on the charts that show that this could be a bottom. That said, with a caveat, things changed a bit in the last hour. I opened my long around 44,700. Obviously, we saw a spike up to 46.5 and then a drop, and I missed being stopped out of that position by about $30, which I shared on Twitter. But I do have the expectation that could happen. But that's a very short-term trade, and obviously well within my managed risk. So if we're talking about a more long-term position, which is what you're talking about, I agree that this seems to be a spot, even if it goes a bit lower, the last opportunity perhaps to get extremely long on Bitcoin. I think that we're going to see 65,000 not too long down the road, six-figure Bitcoin by the end of the year. And that's based on mostly the things that you discussed, all the adoption that we're seeing and everything that's happening in the space, not so much based on the charts. But, my cycle prediction's around $235,000 for the top of this cycle. So I think we have a very, very long way to go.
What made you so confident that at that point where you tweeted, I just took my first leverage long, that you actually took your first leverage long?
Can I share my chart?
Yeah, sure.
I've got it pulled up there. All right. So this is basically the position. Well, first, on a macro level, if you just look at the monthly, down, up, down, up, down, up. This is since 2013. Price has been in an ascending channel. And we just broke the EQ, the equilibrium, that dashed line of that channel. So from here, we have 4 wicks below and closes above that line. That should give us that target in the six figures. I just want to give people some context on why I'm generally bullish about it. It looks absurd, of course, but this is a perfect channel with six-figure targets. But digging in here, obviously, we have the daily, right? You've talked about it, I'm sure. This golden cross. I'm not a huge fan of moving averages because I think that they're lagging indicators generally. Obviously, we know that they're going up because of this price action, not necessarily predicting future price action to the upside. But what rarely happens is you have this golden cross or the 50 and 200 MA on the daily, both interacting directly with price when it happens, right? So because they were supporting price right here, my belief, and we saw it for a few minutes, was that price could end up the day above these levels, holding them as support and continue up. But I was really looking at the 4-hour chart when I took this position. As you can see, I tweeted it, and you'll know it's true because I just did a live stream on it showing it with the stops. My stop is 43,360. I think price just made it to 43,382 or so. So I missed 20-something dollars. But the premise was we have this ascending channel, this strong area of support right here. And so that did target immediately to the top of the channel in this resistance, which was the first target. I did not take profit there, to be frank. But the real reason and the thing that I use the most for trading, anyone who follows me knows, I love bullish divergence. With RSI, I especially love bullish divergence coming out of oversold territory. And I especially love it on the 4-hour chart because historically, this has shown us bottoms, and bear divs on the top have shown us the top. So we had a bullish divergence, hidden bearish divergence, which effectively cancels that one. And now we have a much bigger bullish divergence forming here. And even this is another potential little bullish divergence with a higher low in RSI and a lower low on price. Listen, this could dump to Hades for all I know. And frankly, it could come all the way down here and make an even bigger bullish divergence. But it's also showing on the 6-hour. It was potentially showing on the 12-hour. It could even happen here on the daily if RSI pushes a little above. When I see them starting to compound on multiple timeframes like that, when RSI is oversold on the 4-hour, that's my signal personally. And that's the only situations really where I touch leverage and take longs because it's a high percentage position. To be clear, I don't generally use leverage because you don't need to. The amount of leverage is effectively irrelevant because you use a stop loss, and you should always use a stop loss. And if I stop out, it will be 0.25% of my portfolio, and I'll move about my life. So, those should be the criteria people use if they're going to touch leverage.
Yeah, look, I don't think we should encourage anyone here on this channel to touch leverage. I think it's irresponsible. I think Scott is a very, very, very experienced trader. I mean, I've known Scott trading for a long, long, long time. He does run a YouTube channel. There are at least 2 streams a day now, right? At least 2 pieces of content.
We have at least 2 pieces of content every day. Trying to keep up with you, but it's impossible.
There is a description link here below, but I mean, unbelievable nuggets. Scott, thank you, my friend. I think we just wanted to get clarity as to why you had this conviction. In fact, before I let you go, Litecoin news, obviously fake.
Yeah, so apparently that happened while I was streaming. I missed that happening and was trying to scramble to catch up. You could actually tell me. I'm assuming that it was fake news, and that's what sort of caused this. But interesting that you would see the price pumping on that news, and it would be a great opportunity for someone who knew it was fake, obviously, to sell a whole lot of coins and make a lot of money.
It's either that or the news was leaked too soon. I mean, Litecoin did tweet it at some point and deleted the tweet. Well, I mean, unless their account got hacked. Who knows?
Yeah, I think that we're in one of those positions where everybody has a guess and nobody knows. So, we shouldn't be trading on it, but that's not how the market works. Let's just say that if something like that happened, it would be huge, right? And it would be certainly a game changer for the market. Why Litecoin? I'm not quite sure, but it would be really interesting.
Well, that was the telltale sign for me that it could be fake, because why would you do Litecoin? You would do Bitcoin plus Litecoin. You would make a decision to accept cryptocurrencies, and you wouldn't limit it to Litecoin, or you wouldn't even limit it to one currency unless it was your own currency.
Right.
Otherwise, leave it open to anyone. Why enter into a deal? I mean, anyway, I guess time will tell.
It seems like you would get Walmart coin before you would have them adopting Litecoin, right? And
Bitcoin.
And we know that they're interested in this space. And so I agree with you. So if you want to be extremely, read it in an extremely positive manner, maybe it was leaked and maybe Bitcoin is also a part of it and that just wasn't part of the leaked news. And maybe it is a basket of cryptocurrencies, but more than anything, I would just ignore that for the moment and wait till we have something concrete.
Not good for the crypto markets, because we saw the market go up and we saw the market come down. And I guess the institutions and the SEC and Gary Gensler would look at this and say, look how easily this market is manipulated. Just look at how you can send out one fake press release and you can drive up the market cap by billions and billions of dollars. The market went up by $110 billion in a matter of 5 minutes because of the news.
That's crazy, but if Gary Gensler thinks that's crazy, you should take a quick look at the stock market and what the Fed is doing.
All right, Scotty. Listen, guys, stop what you're doing. Subscribe to Scott's channel right now. 2 pieces of 2 streams every day, at least. Amazing stuff, big guests. He's part of the Banter fam. The guy's a fucking legend. Just go and subscribe to his channel. Watch his videos. You'll watch one, you'll get addicted. That's how I got addicted. That's why Scott's here.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. And we'd be nothing without you. So I appreciate it.
Much love from the Banter fam, brother. Much love from the Banter fam. Yeah, go and give Scott some love. Join his channel. What a great guy. All right, so fundamentals, on-chain fundamentals, absolutely fucking perfect. And then you look at what's going on around you and you say, okay, is the stock market fine? The stock market had a bad week last week. The stock market is good now. I saw the futures were up. I don't know what the futures are doing now. We can quickly have a look. Let's look at the US 30 futures just to see what the market is doing. I think that the futures are up. Let's quickly have a look. Futures are green. So the futures right now are green. Let me zoom out and quickly have a look at the futures. Yeah, futures are 291.1% up. You then have to ask yourself, has anything changed structurally? And I don't think anything has changed structurally, other than the fact that politicians continue to be, well, can you say that a politician is thick as pig shit? I don't think you can say that without getting banned by YouTube. I don't know. Maybe they'll just ban the show because politicians are thick as pig shit. Specifically, did you guys watch this? This was so good.
We are not broke as a nation. We are not bankrupt. We can't go bankrupt. We absolutely cannot go bankrupt because we have the power to create as much money as we need to spend to serve the American people. We are not broke as a nation. We are not bankrupt. We can't go bankrupt. We absolutely cannot go bankrupt because. Okay,
so this is a politician. This is like a House Democrat saying that we can't go bankrupt because we can just carry on printing money. It was so good. It was so good that we actually decided to meme it a little bit. And this is what we did. We took that little clip, and this is what we did with it.
We are not broke as a nation. We are not bankrupt. We can't go bankrupt. We absolutely cannot go bankrupt because we have the power to create as much money as we need to spend to serve the American people.
So we turned it into an advertisement because that is the advertisement. If you ever had a reason to buy Bitcoin, it is because of idiots like that in power who think they can just print and print and print money. Now, the problem is, and I'm trying to find this for you, but Janet Yellen has come out and said that the US may actually default on their debt obligations as soon as October. So here it is. Here's the article that says Janet Yellen warns US Treasury may run out of cash in October, which means that they're going to have to come up with a plan to either print more money or create more money. Janet Yellen has warned that the US Treasury will run out of cash next month unless Congress increases the borrowing limit as Joe Biden's administration grows increasingly worried about debt. Bottom line is that they are screwed, and they are so screwed and so uneducated about finance that they think they can just print their way out of any situation. And, well, I don't know. You tell me, would you rather be in Bitcoin or rather be in the US dollar? So that hasn't changed. And for as long as the on-chain metrics are good, and that hasn't changed. And I don't see any reason why the stock market is going to collapse, although it is overheated, but there's no signs that it's about to collapse. And it did have a healthy calm down or cool down, slightly cool down last week. I can't see any reason why the crypto market should collapse. So I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to just say to you guys, we do have one last chance. We do have one last chance to buy before what we think is going to be a blow-off top. We do think that there's going to be a blow-off top. And when that blow-off top comes, I think it's going to be the last blow-off top that we're going to get ever for crypto and Bitcoin. And so I think what the market is doing right now is the market is giving you an opportunity to buy things cheap. The market has come back to you and said, we're going to give you one last opportunity to buy things cheap. It's exact. I think you got probably 2 weeks in September to realign your portfolios, to make sure that your portfolios are perfect for 60 days. And when those 60 days come, that will be the last chance that you will ever have to make life-changing money. You may make money in the future, but you will never get another opportunity that is going to be as aggressive as all of this. And so what we'll do tomorrow, because I think we're going to run out of time today, what we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to talk to you about how to prepare your portfolios for the most important bull run ever, and what you need to be holding, because there's a lot of clues. If you look at the data, we know that all the layer one blockchains are going to be full. I mean, there was a genius, someone gets it. His name is PHABC. PHABC he says, Ethereum blocks will be full, Solana blocks will be full, Arbitrum blocks will be full, Optimism blocks will be full, Polygon blocks will be full, Starknet blocks will be full. No project is even remotely close to have the throughput to serve the world, given the blockchain adoption that we are about to see. And that is exactly what we need to talk about. We need to talk about how to position yourself for the next 68 days, 69 days, 70 days. In 2017, it was just 64 days. 64 days from bottom to top. We're going to have 64 days from bottom to top, and we're going to make life-changing cash. And that is what we're going to do tomorrow. We're going to position our portfolios for life-changing cash. It'll be all about that, how to maximize your returns, how to minimize your risk, and how to make sure that at the end of it, you walk away with safe investments and life-changing money, and both of those. Also tomorrow, I did mention to you guys that we're going to give away some money with Bybit. So we don't support leverage. So we will never show you a Bybit link to go and take 100x leverage, but they do have a spot exchange, and we will support the spot exchange, and we will be giving you money. So there's a referral link in the description below. You can only win. I'm going to just give out money at random, and if you've got a Bybit account, when I give you the money is yours, and if not, you don't keep the money. So I'm setting you up to get ready. Also, for those of you who are following, I got to show you this. This is fucking fantastic. So if you think that NFTs are amazing, like we do, get this.
Judged me by the way I look and the way I sang, but I realize I don't have to be afraid.
In front of some of the biggest names in music, will.i.am, Alanis Morissette, Grimes, and Nick Lachey, as they search for the next generation superstar.
I can't wait to meet the human beings behind these alter egos.
An alter ego actually really helps me a lot in life.
I like the hair.
Yo, do that again, bro.
With cutting-edge technology never before used on television, singers' alter egos will be transported through the lens onto a real stage with real backup dancers and a live audience.
This alter ego is giving you just the invitation to step out and be even more of who you are.
Are those avatar tears?
Yeah, man, for real.
I think it's
So it's like an America's Got Talent, but it's an America's Got Talent for alter egos or for avatars. And that's like one step away from creating an America's Got Talent for NFTs. And I think that that's where this whole thing is going to go. I think that we're getting one step closer. So we're going to talk about that. Also, before we go, for the people that are following the launch pads and following Seedify, tomorrow there's a big launch on Seedify. I think you can still get in. It's called Monsters Clan. We are at Banter Capital. We invested in Seedify and in Monster Clan. But I think you can, if you sign up today, you can still get tokens in the IGO tomorrow. We're big supporters of it. So I think that's going to be a big one too. Someone says they saw Freddie. That's not Freddie. That's Jimmy. That's Jimmy. Jimmy the sound guy. All right, listen. Love you guys, man. Get ready for tomorrow's course. Get your pens and papers ready. Tomorrow, it's all about maximizing your profits in the next 67 days, which is the last chance in your lives that you're going to get to make life-changing money. I'm going to show you why there's never going to be another bull run. I'm going to show you why the bull run's going to be so short. I'm going to show you where to put your money. I'm going to show you when to take your money out if you're going to take your money out. I'm going to show you how to make life-changing money. And then we're going to have the best 67 days of our lives. Then it's going to be December. Then we're going to go party it up in December. We're going to have a big New Year's party. And we're going to come back in the new year and fuck shit up. So I will see you guys again tomorrow. Same time, same place. In the morning for Sheldon's show. In the afternoon for this show. We'll also do some micro shows. We'll keep you updated on the Litecoin news. I think it's garbage news, but we'll see. So see you tomorrow. Until then, trade well, my friends. That was hard to report on news that you don't know if it's real or not real. It was breaking during the show. It was like breaking and then not breaking and then breaking and then not breaking and then it's real. When I started the show, it's confirmed, and then during the show it became unconfirmed.
The narrative was changing every 30 seconds.
Yeah, I had one eye on the Twitter, one eye on the news thing, and then looking at you to get signals. It's just crazy. But anyway, I think we've now ruled out that the Litecoin news was fake.
I really wish I didn't have been.
Out of his trade. Oh, somebody got a cheap buy, didn't you?
Did you?
Sneaky puff at her.
I got a smack.